Hi, welcome back. I'm going to be talking about meditation today. And along with this, I have something to get you to the point where you're doing more of a true meditation on your own. And hopefully you can get to the point where you can experience the real stillness of meditation so that it has this optimal benefit. And throughout this video, I'm going to be guiding you from a place where you probably have had a busy day and a lot on your mind, and so this is meant to be a transitory meditation to bring you from going your 100 miles an hour with all your stress, and we'll bring that to the place where you can be emptying your mind and relaxing and getting into more of a true meditative state. And this is really not an easy thing for especially people who have not practiced. It's something that meditation, it's something that needs to be practiced and practiced. It's not like getting a cheeseburger at McDonald's. We, just can't go through the drive-through and expect to have this meditation thing down in 15 minutes or so. It's going to take practice. And what I can tell you, some of my findings of actually practicing, if it's practiced a couple times a day intentfully, say 20 minutes, an hour is better, of course, but when we're beginning, so we'll start with 10 minutes of trying to think of nothing, trying to experience nothing. And I have to apologize for saying trying. Trying is not really a part of this. It is getting to the experience of just having an empty mind so that we can, in turn, let incoming information be incoming. It is sort of a form of channeling. So what we would be doing then is being accepting of incoming universal information. And this is basically how artists and musicians and psychics and gurus, well, this is basically that process that I'm telling you about. It is basically getting to the point where we empty our minds, are totally relaxed, and are being casual observers of the thoughts that do come into our minds. So of course at the beginning what will happen is that these thoughts of what has probably happened during the day and who you talked to and what they said, and even negative things we need to take note of, but then just let them go. It's an observation without judgment. So what we're doing here is I'm trying to take you from a place where your focus can change from the things you were doing during the day, the things that are stressing you out, the things that maybe are bothering you, to a point where you have something else to focus on. And light and music are basis of universal flows in physics. So So these are here for you to look at, for you to flow with, to give you something to observe. They come and go, and it is basically the same sort of thing that will happen to you in meditation. It is an observation without judgment, and that is basically what you have before you when you're looking at these videos to as for the guided attunements. I have designed them that way so that you can go with the flow that is right in front of you and just be a casual observer and allow those to bring your mind into more of a calm state, so that when you are alone and get to doing your meditation with your eyes closed and the TV and everything off around you in a peaceful, quiet place, so that when you get to that final meditation, which is just sitting and being quiet, you can be at that state where you've already quieted down your mind enough to go even further with it. So that is the reason for these videos, and this is progressively, let's say, working your way down from very, very busy to very, very, very slow, slowing your mind down, quieting, and in turn helping you to get to where you can sit quietly for 20 minutes, an hour, longer, as you go in meditation. The interesting thing really about meditating even 20 minutes a day in a really well done meditation that I've just found out, and this has to do with for me, World Healing Day coming up, is that when people consciously are able to get into that meditative state for 20 minutes a couple times a day, it is a peaceful state, and that sense of peace reverberates throughout the universe and actually is responsible for about a 70% less chances of things like violence, wars, terrorism. Thoughts are things. These thoughts reverberate throughout the universe, and when we have people meditating, and especially as with things like World Healing Days, group consciousness, meditation groups that will do this together, it is actually effective towards the well-being of the whole planet. And so this is something to consider, about meditation, and hopefully it gives you a reason to meditate more. Another really good byproduct of meditation is a more highly functioning mind. What happens in the brain as it is meditating is that you would think that less things in the brain are firing, less neurons, and less is going on in the mind because it feels more calm, but actually it is the opposite. And I don't want you to go off and do this right now, but sometime when you're online, take a look at Princeton University, and they have a project going on that is mapping the brain when it is in meditation. So they will measure the electric firings of of the brain, and they've mapped that. There's some very interesting studies, and it's now shown that the brain is actually firing back and forth, right and left, using the whole brain more in meditative states than let's say compared to somebody who does not experience meditation at all. They're only using tiny parts of their brain where you can see the electrons firing. So it's kind of an interesting thing to take a look at, and very motivating too, because it can be a little bit difficult for people to see, actually, to internalize meditation. Is it working or not? It can be really kind of a difficult thing to gauge until one is able to sit and really do this for at least 10 minutes of very peaceful, quiet emptiness that you're trying to get to with meditation. So first of all, what you want to do with meditation to get there is have some peaceful music, something that reverberates with you. Now, I recommend Jonathan Goldman for one. I also really like Sudiwaya's work. His down-tempo works for getting into meditation. And if you look around, I'm sure you'll find all kinds of frequency music, like on YouTube, and you want to be looking for the delta frequency music to get you on your way to good meditation. And as I was saying, the universe is actually comprised of these waves physically, and so the delta waves are on a frequency which is the same as meditation and actually things like lucid dreaming. It's a state of mind that one can get to when they're fully relaxed, and so that's the point that I'm trying to get you to. And one way you can get there is by watching these videos and going along with the flow until your mind starts to relax, and then, as I said, then you can sit quietly, and as you're sitting quietly, you're probably going to notice things come up in your mind, and try and be an observer, not judging, just looking at these things and then letting them dissolve and go away. So each thought that comes to mind can be seen. Just let it happen. Just let it fade. In transcendental meditation, and I can tell you that, if you'd like, I can save you about $1,000 on a mantra and guide you through that too. You can contact me about that. It's a little bit specific as to the directions, and like a lot of other forms of, it's very similar to actually what I'm doing here. And it's very effective. And a person could use just a mantra, and so usually what we have with these mantras that is actually similar to what you have before you is the mantra itself is meaningless. It's just a word, just like you have forms before you, these shapes and flows and ebbs and tides, and they will be colors and shapes that dissolve just like the thoughts. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds to think about that. Just focus on the screen in front of you. Watch these things come and go. This is universal waves. And at the core of everything, it just collapses into emptiness. And in that emptiness, there is fullness of everything, which is the unity that we're talking about in meditation. So just experience, observe, and just let those thoughts come and go, and quiet until it's perfectly still. And as you practice this more and more, you can get more and more still, more and more of that emptiness. And you'll notice that as you practice, it gets easier, more enjoyable, more relaxing. You get less interruptions from that mind and the stress and the anxiety. Think of it as dropping all into the ground. Flowing out of you, any of that stress. rest of this video and make a request that you join me here on April 30th to do some more meditations and create world peace